Alright guys, just San here, back for another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And in today's video, we're going to be checking out the Dokkan Fest Kid Gohan. Now, I wanted to do a showcase on this guy because out of all the Dokkan Fest that released around his time period, which was like right before the 200% meta came around, he is definitely one of the better aging ones. He's still really solid with his defensive stacking, and he supports all allies for 3 key and 58% defense. So just bringing him on a team, he'll provide a ton of value. And if you're newer to the game, or even if you've been playing for a bit, just a very useful unit all around, because he has a really crazy active skill as well. So, his utility is really good if you bring him in the right events, because of course that defensive stacking. But before we get into the video, if you find yourself enjoying it at any point, feel free to like and subscribe. Also keep in mind there are timestamps in the video, so if you want to skip around to any part, then absolutely feel free to do that. And yeah, let's get right into it. So on this opening rotation, we are going to have 5 out of 7 links, so a very good turn in terms of our links. And we do also have some support from the Pan. We got 50% support from her. So just a good rotation overall. And start of turn, we are at 268k defense. All right, so not really the craziest defensive stat, but you do have to keep in mind, of course, as I mentioned, he does stack defense. So that's a 30% defensive raise permanently. So just throughout the fight, defense is going to get higher and higher. And this guy does get an additional 58% attack and defense when there's another Heavenly Events category ally in the same turn, which I do not think we have right here. I think the only Heavenly Events category unit we even have on the team is this Gotenks, but we'll get the Gotenks on a rotation with the Gohan so we can see that buff. But anyway, yeah, we'll go ahead and put the Pan in slot 1. We'll get these orbs with the Gohan, and we'll see how good he's looking. Keep in mind, this guy does get 58% attack after he receives an attack. So right here, we are going to be missing out on a little bit of attack, so his attack stat's probably going to be just a bit lower. But, 58% attack definitely is going to make it to where his attack stat can start to look pretty good. But this guy isn't necessarily a damaging unit. I mean, with him supporting for defense, he stacks defense. And even on his active skill, he gets a lot of defensive capabilities. This is more of a defensive unit, right? So his damage is just kind of like a little bonus with him. But right there, I mean, a little over 4 million. Yeah, I mean, that's all right. I mean, nothing too crazy. I think 4 million is good considering everything this guy's doing. The stacking, the support, and all that. But it's nothing too crazy. I mean, with the extra 58% attack buff, and then with a Heavenly Events category ally on the same turn, this guy's attack stats could start to look somewhat impressive, right? I mean, with those 2 extra 58% attack buffs, he'd probably be pushing like 7-8 million, which with, again, the support, the defensive stacking, the crazy active skill, just with everything going on, that is really good. Now, this guy does have a unit super attack, which isn't really the craziest. All it does is give him a 50% attack buff for 1 turn, and then a high chance to stun the enemy instead of a medium chance, which the 50% attack for 1 turn is good, right? I don't necessarily want to undermine that, but just keep in mind, this is a defensive unit, so that's not necessarily going to give him like that much of a, increase in terms of his power, because that's only really benefiting you if you get additionals as well, because it's 50% attack for 1 turn. So, the additional super, that's when the 50% attack buff will be applied to that. So, not really the craziest thing there. I'm only mentioning that because we don't actually have the unit super attack on this team. So, I'll make sure we get the animation in the video, when we take them in, like, the red zone test or something like that. But we're not going to have that right here. But I just want to let you guys know, it's not really the craziest thing. It's not going to make him, like, that much better. Unless you're getting additional supers. And he already has the chance to stun. It only goes up to a high chance, which is nice. It's more frequently you'll see it. But I don't really think you're going to be bringing this guy in Super Battle Road to where you'll actually be able to make use out of that. Because, of course, he's a stacking unit. And, because he's stacking, he's not really going to be that good for Super Battle Road. Because turn 1, he's going to be his weakest. And in Super Battle Road, you want to bring units that turn 1 are at their strongest, right? But our attack stat was very low right there, actually, because we did get debuffed. So that was kind of unfortunate there. It was just a little under 4 million, but we were missing a couple links. I think he only shares, 3 out of 7 links with the 50% support Pan. And yet again, we don't have a Heavenly Events category ally on the team. But, I mean, we still had a lot of support, right? So it was a good rotation with him. We just got debuffed, unfortunately. But the next time we see him, I believe we are going to have the Gotenks on rotation, who does provide a little bit of support. And also, he is on Heavenly Events. So it would just be a very good turn for him. Okay, yeah, Beast Gohan's going to sweep up. Now, I mean, I guess a good thing about him is that he is under the 200% leader skill of Beast Gohan, or LR Ultimate Gohan, whatever you want to call him. And that is really useful, right? Because his team's pretty crazy, so you can bring some top tier LRs, and then you can have this Gohan on the team that supports them, makes them even crazier. And as I said earlier, you know, if you bring him in the right event or right, you know, red zone stage or something like that, this guy can really be useful, because maybe versus like red zone Broly, he can be good, because for that first phase, he has type advantage. So he'll be perfectly fine, even though that's when he's going to be at his weakest, because he has type advantage, you know, he'll be fine. You get a couple stacks, and the second phase is tech, so he might get hit just a little hard, right? But, you know, you got the active skill. So then that makes it to where he has the guard, you recover some HP, and you make everyone on the team look a little bit better defensively. And then the second to last phase, or the third phase, is also STR. So then he has type advantage yet again. So somewhere like Broly would be a really good fight for him. You know, there's the Gamma red zone stage, or the Gammas, where he has type advantage for a phase. So just a lot of events, or a lot of red zone stages where you can bring him where he has type advantage. And this guy will look really good, especially because those typically go, I don't want to say long necessarily, because, I mean, with the right team, you know, we're talking about you bringing him on Dbz Dokkan's team, he's going to have, like, a couple of stacks in, because you're going to finish the event relatively early, right? Turn 6, 7, 8. But, I mean, as long as you get a couple supers in, this guy can look pretty good, because 467k defense on turn 5. That's pretty solid, considering he gets the 30% on super, and that's just an infinite buff, right? So definitely really good, considering he's infinitely stacking, he's supporting, you know, he's got the active skill in his back pocket, he's got stun chance going on, so a lot going on with him to where he's going to be looking pretty good. I guess the stun chance, I probably shouldn't mention that, because, you know, you're only really going to be able to make use out of that in Super Battle Road, and we already established you're not really going to bring this guy in Super Battle Road, just because, unfortunately, you know, he's a stacking unit, or that's not unfortunate, but just because he's a stacking unit, can't really bring him in Super Battle Road, because turn 1 he's not going to be all that crazy. But, alright, we're not going to have the extra 58% attack, because I didn't put him in slot 1. I intentionally did that, because I wanted to see what his attack stat would be without it. Wait, 5.8? Damn, that's still pretty good. And, yeah, we got the additional. That's not that bad, right? I mean, considering, you know, he's supporting, he's stacking defense, he's got the active skill in his back pocket, and I guess a couple other things I forgot to mention. When you get hit, you not only get the 58% attack buff, but you get a guaranteed stun on the enemy. So that is pretty useful. I mean, that makes it to where in Super Battle Road, again, he'll be alright. So I actually, you know what, after thinking about it, you probably could run him in Super Battle Road, but in Extreme Super Battle Road, no chance. Like, this guy's just going to take way too much damage. But, alright, we'll probably just play this active skill right here, because we'll just one-shot the Vegeta really quick. And I haven't played this in a video in a while, so let's go ahead and play this animation. Man, it really never gets old. You gotta love that animation. It is truly top tier. Alright, so what's his defense at? Damn, 638k. That's pretty good turn 7. We've gotten a lot of supers off, though. You know, he got the double super on the last turn. And also, I mean, we do have a lot of support. Wait, we're missing All in the Family? And we still have 638k defense? That's really good, because with All in the Family, we'd be well over 700k defense. Yeah, this Gohan's looking really impressive. So we'll throw him in slot 1. He'll get the extra 58% attack after receiving an attack. And then we'll probably just cut to the nuke test, and then we'll go ahead and cut to the red zone test. See how good he's looking in there. But so far, I mean, I'm pretty impressed. 6.5, definitely really good, considering he's supporting, defensive stacking, got the active skill. And that's pretty much it with this guy, but those three things are very useful, right? I mean, defensive stacking just makes it to where, in the right situation, you know, defensively, this guy can look crazy. And he's got the active skill, you know, with the guard, the heal, the defensive buff for everyone. So then with the guard and the defensive stacking, this guy's going to look insane for that one turn. And then, of course, you know, he's got the heal as well, which is just going to be a really nice addition. I mean, it's nothing insane. The heal isn't going to, like, completely turn a fight around for you. but it's still really useful, right? So we can just go ahead and cut to the nuke test. I don't really got to show this rotation right here. It's just kind of fluffing the video up. So let's go ahead and cut to that. All right, so on this turn right here, we are going to have 18 key spheres. So we got pretty lucky with the nuke items. How much defense are we going to be at with All in the Family active now? 769k. Yeah, it's pretty good turn 9. I mean, it's a little late into the fight. Usually fights are wrapping up about now, but still pushing a million defense after he supers is very useful. So, yeah, we're going to have 4 out of 7 links. Do we link better with Ultimate Gohan? Well, I mean, we get All in the Family, but I think stuff like the Sand Lineage and the Innocence, and between all that, a little bit more, you know, attack buffs with those links. So we'll keep them linked with the Gotenks. We are going to have the extra 58% attack buff because we're going to receive an attack. We got the Gotenks on the rotation, so of course we're going to have the extra 58% attack and defense from that because he's on Heavenly Events. And what are we looking at in terms of our damage? 10 million. All right, I mean, that's pretty weak in terms of like a nuking rotation, but not horrible. I mean, I'll take it, right? I mean, you know, he's not a damaging unit. So, of course, the attack stats are kind of just like a nice little bonus because everything else this guy's doing, it's just a little bit more important than his damage. So, with all that shown, let's go ahead and cut to the Red Zone test. All right, so we're here fighting Red Zone Broly. I kind of talked about how this would be a good fight for Gohan in the video, so figured I might as well bring him in here. Now, we're going to have a lot of links active right here, and we have his active skill as well, as you can see. So I do want to pop this really quick because we already talked about it in the video. You get the heal, the guard, you support everyone for 20% defense for a couple turns. So just a crazy active skill, so let's go ahead and play this. Alright, so with the active skill, our defense is at 689k defense. Yeah, that's pretty good turn 5. And keep in mind, we got guard, so we can slap him in slot 1. Now, the only thing about bringing this Gotenks into the Red Zone Broly event is he's not really, like, the craziest. I mean, he's got some dodge going on, but, of course, you can't have that in this event. So I'm not really expecting to, like, survive this turn or anything, but I still do just want to showcase the active skill. We'll get the unit super attack in the video. And if we do die, I'll just cut back to when we're actually in the final phase of Broly, when he's, like, you know, gotten a lot of super attacks off, and then see how well he's tanking then. But yeah, easily double digits. We're at a 6.19 million attacks. That on this rotation right here, this is like insane, even for like a Dokkan Fest by today's standards, because he's at, okay, well, with the double super, he's at almost a million defense with guard. He's supporting all allies for 3 key and 58% attack and defense. His damage isn't necessarily the craziest, but he also is giving all allies more defense for 2 turns with the 20% defensive buff, again, for 2 turns on his active skill. So just a crazy turn from overall. You know, we got the unit super attack in the video too, so pretty good with that turn. Yeah, we're definitely dead though. I guess, yeah, I was hoping Gohan would get supered because, you know, we threw him in slot 1. But of course, the attacks typically never go in my favor. So with all that shown, let's go ahead and cut to the final phase of Broly, see how good he's tanking in there, and then we'll go ahead and call it in the Red Zone test. Alright, so we're here in the final phase of Red Zone Broly, and we do have a pretty good turn with him right here. We are going to have 3 out of 7 links, but we got All in the Family, so crucial link. We don't have any support though, so this is a very realistic rotation for him. You know, we're not drowning in support by like 50% support Pan and, you know, all that. And start of turn, we're at 465k defense, so we've gotten a couple of stacks in, but really nothing too crazy. So I don't know. I mean, we could get destroyed here if we get supered like first thing, but we'll see. I think after we super attack, we should be fine in terms of tanking normals. Even before. Okay. Actually, not that bad. Double digits even before he supered is pretty impressive. Even from Red Zone Broly, I mean, his normals do hit reasonably hard. So yeah, double digits. All right, well, pretty impressive actually. I'll take that. I think a super would definitely kill us, but in terms of normals, we're surviving him, so that definitely is very useful. Now, with an active skill, you're pretty much guaranteed to survive Red Zone Broly, right? Because if you're around 500k defense, then of course with his active skill he gets guard, then yeah, you're surviving Red Zone Broly, right? Because Red Zone Broly hits for, I think, 1.5 million. So around 500k defense with guard, you'll take some damage, right? That's still like 200, 300k damage, but still very useful because, you know, you're surviving. And even if you know, stack up a lot with him, then of course you'll just tank it even better and better. So no super attack. Okay. Interesting. I was kind of expecting a super. I mean, I guess we could just keep on going, right? And see how good he's tanking on the next rotation. I was kind of expecting to die there. Well, wait, they don't have the guard. I should have put them in slot 1. Well, okay, hopefully they don't get supered. I mean, we'll see, right? I think Broly's going to super attack first thing here because he didn't super attack at all on the previous rotation. No super. Interesting. Okay. Well, okay, we need to get supered, like, right here. Oh, Vegeta and Trunks are about to get supered. Oh, my God. All right, well, it's kind of my fault. It's late. I'm recording late. I didn't even think. I just put them in slot 2. That was stupid. I completely forgot their guard is only limited to slot 1. Well, I guess they get guard just guaranteed for the first 5 turns if there's a bonded parent-child category ally, which there is, but only for the first 5 turns. So, unfortunately, whoa, no super. Okay, is Broly just, like, not going to super attack? What's going on? Okay. Okay, he's super in there, yeah. Wow, so no super on 1 turn, and then on this turn right here, only 1 super. That's really rare. I don't think I've ever had that before. Usually Broly's at least getting 1 super out per turn, because keep in mind, he can get up to 2 supers per turn. So let alone 1 is actually pretty impressive, but alright, well, I'll take it. I mean, I'll take, less damage. Alright, right here, a little bit more defense, of course, because we got a stack in. Now, I think we're going to get supered right here. We're taking a lot of attacks, and also Broly really hasn't been supering that much, so, you'd only assume we're going to get supered now, and I kind of want him to, right? I want to see how much damage he's going to take. But yeah, still double digits, and 3.3. Yeah, so not really that crazy in terms of damage. But again, not really a damage unit. We've talked about that a lot during the video. His damage isn't really going to look that crazy at any point, honestly. It's mainly just his defense that'll look good, because of course he has stacking defense. So, alright, I think we're going to kill. Can we get, like, crit on this? No crit, and we're getting supered. Alright, yeah, we're dead. Alright, well, pretty impressive. Double digits from the final phase of Red Zone Broly definitely is good. Especially considering we were only at, like, a little under 500k defense on that 1 turn. So, with an active skill, dude, his defense would have just been insane. Even on this turn, right? Just crazy levels of defense because he's stacking. You got the active skill in your back pocket, the support. So he's making everyone look good. So pretty impressive. I think bringing him on the team is going to be really useful as long as you utilize him correctly, right? I mean, if you're throwing him in slot 1, you get supered first thing and you haven't stacked up a lot with him, he's going to get destroyed. But in the right situations, he can look really good. We did have the Goku family support memory active there, though, so keep in mind there was a little bit of extra buffs going on for him. But yeah, anyway, with all that shown, let's go ahead and cut to the unit breakdown. Alright, here we have Power to Protect Allies, Gohan Kid. So starting off with his leader skill, it is Heavenly Events category Ki +3 and HP attack and defense plus 170%, or Bond of Master and Disciple category Ki +3, HP attack and defense plus 150%. I guess a pretty good leader skill with Heavenly Events. I think he is the best Heavenly Events lead, so pretty useful there. And then his super attack effect is that he raises defense infinitely and then causes immense damage with a medium chance to stun. And then his unit super attack is that he raises defense infinitely again. He greatly raises attack for 1 turn, does immense damage, and then has a high chance to stun. And all you need to have is a Piccolo or a Krillin on the team. So really good. I mean, you just throw Orange Piccolo on the team, and then you just get the unit super attack. But as I said earlier, you're really only getting the 50% attack and then a little bit of extra stun chance. Which, if you're bringing this guy in like a red zone stage or anything like that, the extra attack for 1 turn and then the extra stun chance, it's not really going to benefit you that much. But still, I mean, it's there, right? So in some situations, I guess it'll be more useful, kind of. And then his passive is that he gets defense plus 158%. He gets attack plus 158% when performing a super attack. He gets an additional attack and defense plus 58% when there's another Heavenly Events category ally attacking in the same turn. And then he gets an additional 58% attack, stuns the enemy, just guaranteed, after he supers after receiving an attack. So just to clarify, you get 58% attack and then a guaranteed stun on the enemy after you receive an attack. And then he gives all allies 3 ki and 58% defense. So really good here. I think this does kind of make the unit. If it weren't for the support, his utility would just, I don't know, I wouldn't really run him as much, right? Because with the support, you can kind of just throw him on a team and it makes more sense. Because defensively, he can look good in some situations, but even if he's not looking the best defensively, because he has the support, it makes him very usable. So without that, I don't know, it'd make the unit a lot more wonky, but fortunately, he does have that, and it's a very good buff. 58% defense is very high, so really good there. And then his active skill is that he recovers 30% HP, guards all attacks for 1 turn, and then raises allies' defense by 20% for 2 turns. Really good active skill. And then the condition is that you need to be below 58% HP. So really good effect. And then the condition is that you need to be below 58% HP, and then you can just get it, right? So not the worst condition, not necessarily the best either, but there's no like turn restriction or you need to perform X amount of super attacks or receive X amount of attacks. It's just be below 58% HP. So it's a little bit more straightforward than a lot of others, which is pretty good, right? And then his links are the Innocence, Demonic Ways, Sand Warrior Race, All in the Family, the Sand Lineage, Gaze of Respect, and Fierce Battle. So pretty solid links. I mean, some of these links are kind of wonky, but I mean, he's got a lot of sand links, and he's got All in the Family, which definitely is really good. And then his categories are Heavenly Events, Hybrid Sands, Goku Family, Youth, Bond of Master and Disciple, Planetary Destruction, Bond of Parent and Child, and then Warriors Raised on Earth. So, alright, that is the AGL Dokkan Fest Kid Gohan. Let me know how you guys are feeling about this guy. And, yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next one.